AEW Revolution 2025 draws the best pay-per-view buys since AEW All in London in 2024. An update on the WWE statuses of Rey Fenix and Jeff Cobb. TKO and UFC reportedly are furious with ESPN following UFC 313 streaming issues. Ricochet and Mark Davis advance in the AEW International Championship Tournament on AEW Collision. The tag team name for Hologram and Commander has been revealed. Jon Moxley attacks his World Championship contender Swerve Strickland on Collision. Mustafa Ali is believed to have sustained a dislocated jaw at TNA Sacrifice, but still finished his match. Mercedes Moné competes in her first independent pro wrestling match since August 2012. Josh Alexander makes a surprise appearance at MLP Mayhem Night 2. The finals of the MLP Women's Championship Tournament have also been confirmed. An update on Roxanne Perez's WWE main roster creative plans. The backstage reaction to WWE NXT Roadblock has been revealed, as well as the reaction to TNA Wrestling's Moose. Several matches have been confirmed for next week's Slam Dunk Saturday AEW Collision, and a match has also been confirmed for AEW Dynamite next week. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's begin with AEW Revolution 2025. The show is officially in the history books as the promotion headed to the Crypto.com arena in Los Angeles, California last week for a show that saw several acclaimed matches such as Timeless Toni Storm vs. Mariah May, Kenny Omega vs. Konosuke Takeshita, and Will Ospreay vs. Kyle Fletcher, MJF vs. Hangman Adam Page, Swerve Strickland vs. Ricochet, in addition to a not-so-acclaimed main event between Jon Moxley and Cobb for the AEW World Championship. When it comes to how well the show performed from a pay-per-view standpoint, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter has provided some insight. It is noted that 2023 into 2024 saw a decline in pay-per-view buys, but there was a boost for All In 2024 when AEW headed to Wembley Stadium. However, due to AEW pay-per-views being taken off Bleacher Report, buys had seen an overall decline due to losing out on its number one distributor. AEW Revolution 2025 has brought in AEW's biggest numbers since All In, reportedly sitting at an estimated 135,000 to 140,000 buys in the first week. When it comes to the controversial main event, a report has emerged stating that AEW changed plans at the last minute for the match. It was also noted that an appearance from the absent Killswitch, also known as Luchasaurus, was spoken about, but nothing ultimately emerged. Now let's go to WWE and talk about the status of some incoming possible stars. WWE has already bolstered its roster with Penta, Ricky Saints, and Jordan Grace so far in 2025, but recent reports suggest that the promotion isn't done, with Rey Fenix's debut officially being advertised following his AEW release, and New Japan Pro Wrestling's Jeff Cobb also reportedly leaving for Stanford. A new update from Fightful Select on Friday seemed to confirm both new arrivals, adding even more smoke to the already raging fire. After initially reporting but not confirming that one source claimed that Cobb was already on the internal WWE roster, Fightful now reports that, quote, multiple other sources confirmed that Cobb was listed internally on WWE's roster this week, end quote. Fightful also noted that Fenix was getting his medicals done and confirmed that he was the subject of the vignette that aired on Friday's WWE SmackDown. Cobb had been competing in the New Japan Cup, but was defeated by Shota Umino in a quarterfinal match on Saturday. Cobb had been vocal about his utilization by New Japan, criticizing the lack of wins he'd had of late, leading many to speculate that he'd part ways with the promotion. As for Fenix, it was reported as far back as August that he and his brother and tag team partner Penta were leaving AEW for WWE, but AEW CEO Tony Khan controversially added injury time to Fenix's contract when the brothers' plans became known, leading to Penta's WWE Raw debut as a single star. Khan recently reversed course and released Penta from his deal. This is an interesting story here when it comes to TKO, of course, the parent company of WWE and UFC, and the upper echelon of TKO Group Holdings is furious with ESPN following streaming issues for UFC 313. A new report from Eric Richter of the New York Post highlights frustrations from TKO about the streaming issues that have occurred throughout ESPN's time hosting UFC pay-per-views. The streaming issues were so severe that ESPN removed the paywall from UFC 313 and enabled all fans to watch for free the following day. Now, UFC 313 could prove to be a tipping point as ESPN's exclusive negotiations rights window is scheduled to expire soon. The UFC can start negotiating with Netflix, Amazon, and others on April 15th. Quote, unfortunately, we experienced a technical issue that impacted purchases of the UFC pay-per-view on ESPN Plus shortly after 10 p.m. Eastern, an ESPN spokesperson told the Post. Our teams identified and resolved the issue, restoring full functionality ahead of the main event. We apologize for the inconvenience and are taking steps to ensure a better experience in the future, end quote. Eric Richter appeared on the New York Post Sports Against the Cage to state that after he published the article, he was contacted by a well-known connected person who suggested UFC would surely try to make a deal with Netflix. During a Morgan Stanley Technology, Media and Telecom Conference, TKO COO Mark Shapiro commented that TKO would be flexible in its approach to UFC pay-per-view. Quote, life has changed on the pay-per-view front, Shapiro said. Look, it works for us, but we are super flexible. Linear, broadcast, streaming, pay-per-view, not pay-per-view. WWE, which is also under the TKO umbrella, recently entered a partnership with Netflix. Under the agreement, WWE Raw will stream on the platform worldwide, and all WWE Premium Live events will air on Netflix internationally. In 2014, WWE launched the WWE Network, leaving behind the traditional pay-per-view format. Now, going back to AEW Collision last night, we've got more details when it comes to the International Championship. Ricochet and Mark Davis advanced to the International Championship Tournament Final with their victories on AEW Collision. Orange Cassidy and the debuting Speedball Mike Bailey secured their own places in the four-way of the tournament, with Saturday's show deciding of which of Ricochet, Katsuyori Shibata, as well as Mark Davis and Mark Briscoe would advance to join them. In the tournament, in a first tournament match of the night, Ricochet defeated Shibata to advance after a relatively back-and-forth contest which saw the technical standing style of Shibata juxtaposed with the high-flying, rapid offense of Ricochet. The closing stretch saw Shibata look to close the match out with his opponent locked in a sleeper hold. Ricochet would break free after an attempted kick from Shibata, delivering a back elbow as his opponent followed him to the corner, then rolling him up. Ricochet put his feet on the ropes for the leverage in the pin without the referee seeing, and thus got the 3 count for the victory. Davis and Briscoe would later meet in the ring once again, with a result running against the grain as the former defeated the latter with the help of the Murder Machines. After a few near falls, Briscoe sought to finish things with the Jade Driller, only for Davis to escape and land a snap pile driver for his own near fall. But Briscoe would get the better of the following exchange with a Death Valley driver, setting up for the Froggy Bow when Brian Cage and Lance Archer emerged. Archer distracted the referee as Cage pushed Briscoe from the top, allowing for Davis to hit the Coriolis Force for the winning pinfall. The final of the tournament will be contested during next week's AEW Dynamite, with the winner due to challenge Kenny Omega for the International Championship at AEW Dynasty. Now, a new AEW tag team name has been confirmed, this coming last night as well. Since returning to AEW television following his injury, Hologram has been in a rivalry against the members of LFI after they attacked him following his victory over the Beast Mortos at Wrestle Dream last year. Hologram is not alone in his war with LFI, as he has been joined by Ring of Honor World Television Champion Commander, who has had his own issues with the members of the faction. On last night's episode of Collision, a video package aired hyping up a tag team match on next week's Collision, which will pit Hologram and Commander against Drilistico and the Beast Mortos. During the video package, Alex Abrahantes referred to the duo as the Lucha Stars, which seemed to be the potential new name for the tag team. Following the show, a new name for the duo was officially confirmed as AEW's social media shared a graphic of the match, officially referring to the duo as the Lucha Stars. Now, Jon Moxley attacked his future possibly contender for the AEW World Championship. Swerve Strickland earned the right to challenge for the AEW World Championship by defeating Ricochet at AEW Revolution. Jon Moxley still needs to defeat Cobb in a street fight to retain the title on the March 19th AEW Dynamite. However, he is already looking beyond that and sending a very physical message to Strickland. As Swerve Strickland cut a promo on Cobb and Mox during the March 15th AEW Collision, Jon Moxley appeared behind him and hit him with a crowbar. He followed that up with a vicious curb stomp moments after Strickland reiterated that he had a busted eardrum. Moxley quickly made his exit as medical personnel checked on Strickland. Now, going to Sacrifice, TNA's event on Friday, one TNA talent had a pretty close call. TNA Sacrifice saw recent signing Mustafa Ali take on Mike Santana, who has been heavily featured through his TNA run. In what was considered match of the night by many, Mustafa Ali ended up defeating Mike Santana. However, he was fortunate to be able to finish the match. Fightful Select have been told by sources within TNA that Mustafa Ali was believed to have dislocated his jaw during the match. He was able to correct it and finish the match. Ali isn't expected to miss any time from what Fightful understands. Mercedes Moné, she was competing on the independent pro wrestling scene last night. Mercedes Moné competed in her first independent match since August 2012, taking on Indy Hartwell at HOD City of Dreams. Mercedes was victorious in the bout, tapping Indy with the statement maker. After the bout, Mercedes starts while standing with Indy. This was their first match against each other, but they have trained together. As I mentioned, this was Mercedes' first match since the summer of 2012. Her last independent match took place at CTWE 4-year anniversary show before she was signed with WWE. She's the reigning AEW TBS champion, Rev Pro Undisputed British Women's Champion, and New Japan Strong Women's Champion too. Josh Alexander made a surprise appearance at MLP last night. Alexander made a surprise appearance at MLP Mayhem Night 2. Alexander saved Kevin Knight and Kushida, who were being attacked by QT Marshall, Sheldon Jean, and Blake Christian. After running off QT, Jean, and Christian, Alexander got on the mic and said he would be at Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling's Northern Rising on May 10th. Of course, it's been recently reported that Alexander is set to sign with AEW. He's currently a free agent after his TNA wrestling contract expired back in February. Speaking of MLP, we're getting closer to crowning a women's champion. Kylie Ray will meet Giselle Shaw in the finals of the MLP Women's Championship Tournament. The finals will take place on May 10th at MLP Northern Rising. Kylie defeated Zoe Sager at Night 1 of MLP Mayhem and Taylor Rising on Night 2. On the other side of the bracket, Shaw defeated Lainey Luck at Night 1 and Serena Deeb on Night 2. A bit of an update here when it comes to Roxanne Perez and plans for her on the WWE main roster. Following reports in January that Roxanne Perez was set to receive a main roster call-up sooner rather than later, Perez made her third Royal Rumble match appearance, during which she set the record for the longest time spent in a Women's Rumble match at 1 hour and 7 minutes. She went on to qualify for and compete in the Women's Elimination Chamber match on March 1st, during which she was eliminated by Alexa Bliss. While Roxanne Perez has since returned to NXT, rumors have been swirling about her WWE future following her loss to Jordan Grace at NXT Roadblock. Per Fightful Select, the expectation was for Perez to continue her program with Bayley on the main roster following their recent NXT encounters. Bayley and Perez have shared the ring numerous times this year, first on the January 28th NXT episode when Bayley and Julia defeated Perez and Cora Jade. The duo notably competed in the February 15th NXT Vengeance Day main event, with both stars, along with Cora Jade, challenging for Julia's NXT Women's Championship in a four-way bout. They most recently shared the ring in the Elimination Chamber match, ahead of Bayley being eliminated by Liv Morgan. Speaking of NXT, we've got the reaction to WWE Roadblock this past week. This past Tuesday's WWE NXT Roadblock was, to quote Jacob Fatu, all gas, no brakes, as multiple championship matches and street fights oohed and ahed the crowd in New York City's theater at Madison Square Garden. Two of the five matches that aired highlighted successful ongoing partnership between TNA and WWE NXT. In one of those matches, the current TNA X Division champion Moose stunned fans with his hard-fought challenge for the NXT Championship against current champion Obafemi. According to Fightful Select, sources expressed satisfaction with the event. Reports indicate they were quite pleased with the overall execution and production at Roadblock. Among the impressive highlights, Moose made the positive impression on WWE. Before this partnership between TNA and WWE, Moose had discussions with former WWE executive Canyon Ceman before his departure in the summer of 2021. In 2023, it was reported that Moose had signed a 5-year deal with TNA. In an interview with Battleground, the wrestling god mentioned that this recent extended deal will be his last, as he plans to hang up his boots with TNA, a company he feels provided him with a dominating run since he joined in 2016. His goal before hitting his last spear and riding off into the sunset, and to ensure his name is synonymous with TNA for years to come. Going to next weekend, we've got an update on matches set for the Slam Dunk Saturday edition of AEW Collision. AEW announced that Daniel Garcia will defend his AEW TNT Championship against Adam Cole at AEW Slam Dunk Collision. The two battled to a no contest on the March 1st episode of the same show. Plus, Commander and Hologram will take on LFI's Drilistico and the Beast Mortos next weekend on Collision. AEW Collision will be split into two parts next Saturday and Sunday due to the NCAA tournament, with Part 1 airing at 11 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, March 22nd, and Part 2 airing at 11 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, March 23rd. And finally, a match has also been confirmed for AEW Dynamite this coming Wednesday on TBS as well. Megan Bayne and Chris Statlander will clash once again on Wednesday's AEW Dynamite. The bout was confirmed on AEW Collision. Bayne defeated Statlander on the February 19th episode of AEW Dynamite. But there you go, guys, the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.